I'm excited to show you a house that blurs the lines between indoor and outdoor. At just under 10,000 square feet, this home was built by Symmetry Construction, designed by Cosan Studio, and it is a real marvel of architecture. And by the way, stick with us because there are 6 secret doors.
Okay.
All right, Scott, I'm excited to see this house. Gosh, this is the total in outdoor-indoor living.
It truly is, and the experience starts from the minute you open the garage door and you pull into the garage. The homeowner has an unbelievable view of the distant mountains.
With those incredible boulders that you always like to cite right in the center. Well, this house has really relied on one of the most spectacular views that we see across the valley. When you were designing this home, how did you maximize this whole view?
So the incredible thing we have on this site, we sit at the midpoint of Camelback Mountain and we're on the north side. So the beauty of being on the north side is we don't have to deal with the sun as much as we do on the other side of the mountain. So we get a lot of shade. So we could actually put glazing across the whole back side of the house to capture the amazing views that they have.
I mean, would you say this is, this is a 280-degree view?
Oh, at least, yes, at least 280 degrees. You go all the way from the East Valley all the way across to the West Valley with spectacular mountain views. And at night, you get beautiful lights in the distance.
So I feel like we're at a pretty high elevation up here.
Yep, we are one of the highest homes in the development. There's not too much that could go any higher than this. And so we sit at the perfect spot with homes obviously below us, but nothing ever going to be above us looking down on us.
It's really stunning, and there's just an amazing breeze up here. I love how the inside and the outside just meld together. This automated door that's here turns this outdoor patio into just an extension of the main living space.
Right, and we don't like to call them outdoor patios. We call them outdoor living rooms.
Outdoor living.
So they really are living rooms to be used as part of an extension of the indoor living.
So I know one of the big deals with this house is that you really wanted to make sure that there wasn't even any sort of a guardrail or anything over here that was obstructing the views. So, so how does this all work? I've never seen this before.
So the most important thing when we were working on the design and the site, when you look at most homes, you have these beautiful patios, but then you have to have a guardrail for full protection. And so what we did is we created this steel planter that meets code that actually acts as our guardrail so that we could have unobstructed views and not have to look through guardrails, even if it's glass or cable. There's always something there in your sight line. So we have this beautiful succulent garden that they can look at and have unobstructed views.
And you kind of feel like you're floating up here too. I mean, you get to capture the view and all the fresh air, which is amazing. So this staircase over here is really impressive. So tell me about the architecture of a staircase that's suspended like this.
So the important thing, we really wanted this stair when you walked in to become a focal point in the house and to be able to have it not be your typical stair. And so it's made of bent steel and just tie rods that actually structurally hold it to the ceiling. It goes both levels in the home, actually all 3 levels. And it's just a continuous bent plate and it just beautifully anchors the space when you walk in.
And is it multiple pieces that are soldered together? It looks like there's like one big continuous piece of metal.
So there is one big continuous piece of metal that's welded for each level. And then each of the rods, they painstakingly put in meticulously so that we have the same spacing between them and everything.
And so that they're straight up and down. Yeah, probably a little bit harder to do.
There was a little bit, a few times coming out with the craftsman doing it, there was some choice words, but they got it and they did an exceptional job.
So this house, we counted, I think, 6 secret doors in this house. So thanks to your space planning and architectural design, you've got things that lead to other things. Can you talk me through some of these secret doors?
Yeah, so there's kind of some really fun layering that happens. When someone comes into the home and they're in this main space, it's your typical space. It's your beautiful kitchen, your dining, your great room, all in one. And what you don't know is that from that space, there's hidden doors that lead you into secondary spaces. So we have obviously our back kitchen, which is important off the main kitchen. and then some hidden doors that hide some mechanical spaces. And one of our favorite is when you pull up to the house, you kind of don't notice there's a garage because there's a flush mount hidden garage door that looks like it's just part of the facade of the house.
So surrounding the main living spaces, this is the primary outdoor space for playing games and entertaining. So how would you describe this space and how it's used?
So this space was important because it's an extension of the main space, but we wanted it to feel private off of the primary suite. So it's tucked around the corner. They have unbelievable views out of that bedroom, but they can come over into this private space away if they're entertaining even and stuff, and everyone's on the other side and have this little area just to themselves.
So Scott, talk to me a little bit about this primary bath. It's spacious with a lot of light.
Yeah, so the important thing in all the homes that we do is natural light. And so this, again, is an opportunity to introduce an area that typically we don't have with so much natural light. It turned out beautiful in the way that they can have unbelievable views and still privacy with the way the home's situated on the mountain.
So this is the recreation pavilion. Tell me about the design of this. Oh, and a lot of fun happening right here.
Little F1 racing going on. So an amazing space for the homeowner who loves cars, as probably evident from this space. Also golf, we have a golf simulator, his office, and it overlooks our rec room, which houses some amazing cars in it.
This is the ultimate playground here for entertaining guests.
We can have F1 races playing on the screen, viewed from the balcony. You have to sit down in this chair and look through the clear story windows and see how the mountain is framed
perfectly framed.
It's a piece of art.
Congratulations to Symmetry Construction and Cosan Studios. This is a stunning home. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Iconic Estates, and we will see you next time.